Hi everyone, Adam Berg, Ron Pochel here with the Minnesota State High School League. We're here to give you a brief overview of what a two-umpire pregame would look like. Up to this point, we assume all the Minnesota State High School League pregame guidelines have been complete. Contacting schools, contacting your partner, making sure your uniform is pressed and clean. We assume that is all done. This is the conversation that you're going to have with your umpire partner about 10 to 15 minutes before you walk onto the baseball field. The way Ron and I like to organize our pregames is by position of runner at the time of the pitch. So we're going to start with nobody on and work our way through the entire, through all these situations of adding runners.
As the base umpire, I'll be in the A position with nobody on, and ground balls down the first baseline to the bag, call, fair foul will be yours.
Okay, so I have fair foul up to the base, okay.
Ball that goes over the bag and beyond is my call.
Okay.
Fair foul. If we have persons that are to be tagged on runners before first base, the first 45 feet will be your tag of the runner.
Okay.
From the last 45 feet to the bag, if there's a tag, I will be making the call. Now, if there is a swipe tag and I'm not sure, I will be coming to you, ask, did he tag or did you not tag, and you'll be saying yes, no, and I'll make the signal.
Okay.
Make the judgment. If there's a pulled foot at first base, then I will be also coming to you whether or not he pulled the foot or did not. And you'll say yes, no, and I'll be making the call.
Okay. So this kind of goes to ground balls then. So ground balls in the infield, the plate umpire is going to come up the first baseline, help out with any potential funky situations, pulled foot, swipe tag, etc. You're just going to be in position making the call at first base. So the plate umpire can help out with that, with those extra activities. Plate umpire would also help out with anything out of play. So I'll take anything over by the fence or dugout.
Okay. And if there's a ground ball that's at first base and it goes through the first baseman, you'll be staying with the ball for watching to see if it goes to the dead ball area, and I'll take the batter runner to second base if he goes.
Okay, so you're going to come and pivot then.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great.
Now we got line drives that are in the infield. If the balls that are hit right at the person, especially in the second and first baseman, straight at them, and the ball's going to their left, I will take the call. Otherwise, you'll have the calls on the line drives.
Okay. Okay. Well, one note about that is if you take an infield diagram and you draw arrows with the infielders, that's going to dictate line drive coverage. If that arrow is coming at you or you have a good angle, so like Ron was saying, if the second baseman's coming straight in, that's a good angle for the base umpire. Plate umpire can also help out on that. But if the arrow is coming towards you, essentially, that's going to be your coverage. And this will go for any line drive, whether the plate umpires or the base umpire is in the middle or not. So line drive coverage, even though it will change a little bit, imagine those arrows coming at you.
Okay, we have fly ball from the A position. If the ball, I'll be taking the ball straight on the center fielder to the right field line. If I go out, I will stay out. I will go out on troubled balls, which are ones where we have infielders or outfielders and infielders converging. We'll have a ball that possibly might be hitting over the center fielder's head. We'll have difficult plays, perhaps down the first base line for fair foul, catch, no catch. In those cases, if I go out, I will stay out.
Okay, so the plate umpire, I'll come up then and take that runner to any base.
Correct.
Okay.
Now we have the particular play where there's a ball hit directly behind first base, where there might be the second baseman coming over for the catch, or the first baseman backing up. In that case, I as a first base umpire, I will be rotating in to take the batter runner, and you'll be taking the play of the fly ball, catch, no catch.
So okay, all right, that sounds good. So if you leave the area and come in on that, I'll take the fly ball coverage. Okay.
Good. Now we have a man on first base.
Okay, so yeah, man on first base. So I'm gonna signal. Anytime that you move position, or so you're gonna be in the middle now. Anytime we have a runner on base, the plate umpire is always going to initiate a signal. So I'm going to give you, let's say in this situation, there's going to be one out, and I'm going to tell you, with a runner on first base, I'm going to tell you, Ron, I'm going to go to third base. We'll talk about that rotation in a minute. Okay. But I'm going to give you a signal. So one out, Ron, I'm going to third.
And I'll also respond back to you that I understand what you're saying.
Okay. So this is a good moment here. We're going to, now that we have the umpire in the middle, we're going to talk about fly ball, line drive, and ground ball coverage briefly. This is going to go for any time the umpire is in the middle. So we are not going to mention this again the rest of the video, but this is going to be your coverage anytime the umpire is in the middle. So with a ground ball, the base umpire, you're going to have pretty much any play at any base, right?
Correct. Now, in fly balls to the outfield, I'll be in the wedge, whether I'm in the B or C position. So I'll have the ball straight on the left fielder, straight on the right fielder, and balls in between. I'll be making a signal to you.
So the wedge.
And the wedge.
Yep.
And I'll be making a signal to you that I'm going to take that play.
Okay.
If we have a very windy day and the ball's being blown towards the line, it might be heading right straight at the outfielder, left or right, and heading towards the line. That particular call, I perhaps will not be signaling to take it. And
I can be aware and
you
read
can,
it.
And you can read that
Yep.
signal off of me.
One thing I want to go back to quick about ground balls is the force play slide rule. With anytime there's a runner on base and we have more than one force, this could be at any base. This could be at home, third, or second. The most common is at second base with a runner on first only. The plate umpire can get in a good position to see that play at second and be able to judge properly whether or not there was a force play slide infraction.
Pretty good. Okay, now we have men on first and third.
First and third. Okay, yep. Oh, so before we get there, so now we've covered the fly ball, line drive, ground ball coverages. So now with the runner on first, we need to talk about the rotation. So the plate umpire on a base hit with a runner R1, the most likely play is going to be at third base. So the plate umpire is going to come up to third base and cover that play at third base. He needs to be aware because they could also have a play at the plate if for some reason that runner is safe at third. But I will rotate up there and I will let you know, Ron, I'm at third. Ron, I'm at third. And that's where this signal comes in. Ron, I'm at third. And I'll let you know that I'm there. There would be one time that this rotation possibly would not happen, and that is if the plate umpire has a fly ball coverage down the right field line. There is a potential that that rotation is going to be off. And what I'll say to you is, Ron, I'm on the line, and that will tell you that you're going to have to cover any play at third.
Then I will cover the plays on the bases.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
We have men in first and third position. I'll be in the B position at this point. And
So this is very similar to a runner on first only. You're
Correct.
going to be in the B position.
I'll remain
Okay.
there. I'll be remaining there.
Okay. The only difference in this entire situation is we're just adding the runner at third base, and it more involves the plate umpire here. They just need to be aware of the potential scoring opportunity. They need to get in position to see a tag at third if the fly ball is caught, and if there's a base hit, the plate umpire is still going to rotate up to third. So I'm still going to give you that signal. The only difference is the plate umpire would need to watch the touch at home plate before completing that rotation up to third.
Okay. Now we have men in first and second.
Okay, yeah. Runner first and second. The signals that we're going to give, and we'll get into this in a minute, but the signal I'm going to give prior to the pitch is I'm going to tell you the out. So Ron, there's one out, and I'm going to go to my hat. If there's less than two outs, to say that there is an infield fly on.
Correct.
The other signal that we would add is pounding our fists together or tapping our chest to also signify a rotation to third, which we'll get into in a minute. So one out, tap the hat, Ron, I'm at third.
On the infield fly, now we want to remember, we don't want to call it too early. We do not want to rush the call.
Okay, good.
We want to make sure
wanna
the
be
ball
patient.
we want to wait till the ball gets to its apex. If it's a very windy day and it's by the foul line, then it would be infield fly if foul, if fair, and to make the call.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, now we can both say that together.
Right.
Whenever we judge it, we can come up and when you hear your partner call it, you also call it.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so now if we have any fly ball, whether it's in really an infield fly or a fly ball to the outfield, if there's a runner tagging, the plate umpire is going if R2 at second is going to tag and try to advance to third, the plate umpire will rotate up to come get that play at third base.
Correct. Now, if we got a ball on the first base line and you'll have catch, no catch, fair foul, I'll have to possibly take the tag of the person at second base.
And I'll communicate that again as well. Ron, I'm on the line,
Correct.
and that will tell you that the rotation is off.
Correct. Okay.
Other than that, with any situation, single, double, any ground ball situation, the plate umpire is always going to stay home. They are never going to rotate in any situation other than that fly ball tag up with a runner at second. Other than that, the plate umpire is staying home. Base umpire has all coverage out on the bases.
Correct.
Yep, first, second, and third is pretty much the same thing. We're going to take away the rotation. The plate umpire is not going to rotate on any situation with the bases loaded. They're going to stay at home and just have to be aware that we've added the runner at third, so there's a potential tag up and play at the plate.
Okay.
But other than that, everything stays the same.
Correct. Okay, now we have a man at second base, and I'll be in the C position. Okay? So, all ground balls at first base or first play in the infield are mine. Okay? Otherwise, fly balls to the outfield and line drives in the infield will be the same.
Okay. So you're going to have all coverage, any tag up at second, that when that runner tries to advance, you're going to have that play to third. Plate umpire is not involved at all.
Correct. I'll have all plays in the infield.
Okay. The only time the plate umpire could maybe get involved with a runner on second only is if it's a second play on the infield. Let's say you have a play at first base, and then the runner at second either gets caught in a rundown or there's a play back at second, and there's potential of another play at third. The plate umpire could potentially come up and help out with that play at third. I guess this goes to rundowns in general. If you have a rundown with the runner, the plate umpire can come help out at the corners, either third base or first base, depending on where the rundown is.
And you'll communicate to me that you're going up to third.
I'll communicate that I'm going to be there. But other than that, with the runner on second only, if there is a second play, let's say there is a play at third base, after that play at first, you're going to have that all the way.
Correct.
Plate umpire is going to stay home and get ready for a play at the plate if that develops.
Okay. And if we do have a rundown of a person between second and third, you'll be entering in when it's going away from me, and you'll be saying, I've got this end of the rundown.
Yeah, as that runner is going away from me as the plate umpire, I'll come into the cutout and help out at the cutout.
Good.
Yep.
Good. Okay, now we have a man at third base.
Third base, okay. So very similar to nobody on, except you're going to be in the middle. So fly ball coverage, ground ball, line drives, all the same. You're going to have play on the batter runner at any base, play with the runner at third if there's a pickoff at third. Other than that, the plate umpire is going to get in a position to see the tag at third and then take a play at the plate.
Correct. Okay. Now we have men at second and third.
Yep, again, the reason we set this up for this example, there's really nothing to add here. It's the same situation as second or third only. There's a potential tag at third. The field umpire needs to be aware of potential plays involving R2,
Okay.
and then also the batter runner.
Okay, now if we get a situation at any point that there's rule interpretation or there's something that's more complicated, and we call time, we need to get together to get information. The person who's requesting it, initiating the conference, will obtain whatever information from the other umpire that he needs.
Okay, so the calling umpire should initiate this. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And then at that point, after the decision is made on, the judgment is to get the play right.
Okay. Yep. Agreed on that.
And then if there is a reversal of the call for any reason, the person initiating the conference and making the call will then make that call and reverse it, as well as then possibly explain it to the coaches.
Okay. Good. Good. Well, that's a short pregame that we would like you to have with your partners before the game. Hopefully, you're able to take something away from this. Hope you have a great season. Contact any one of us at the high school league office if you have any questions.
Have a great season.